Oh, hey, this is before the long go. If you guys want to go to the main topic, skip to 5 minutes. Hey, wait, let's get to blah, blah.
Little pre. All
Yeah,
right. Well, what's up, Brandon? What's new?
nothing much.
Yeah.
Besides, gonna
Okay.
get my haircut this week.
Oh, I just got my hair cut on Monday. Yeah. A
Yeah.
little
So you
shorter.
you want to talk about what you wanted to talk about real fast while I pull up the things?
Yeah. If you got him going,
Uh, yeah,
I'll
about to up. Yep,
I'll
just gotta.
buy a little bit of time in the middle of this just
What
by
the?
talking about something else real quick. What was I gonna say? Oh, I'm getting the updates yet on my interview process.
Okay, cool. I was gonna ask you about that.
So that was on Thursday, my third interview for this company, and I'm supposed to hear back this week. I don't know. There could be several different variables that lead to not hearing back yet, which honestly, it hasn't been that long. I personally don't count Thursday as a day, interviewing midday. So then you've got Friday, weekly doesn't count, and then Monday, Tuesday. That's 3 days. Today we're on Wednesday, which is the fourth. So in reality, it hasn't been that long. Um, I will ultimately, I don't have like email, but I want to send a follow up email sometime soon. Definitely, I'm going to end up doing it this week if I don't hear back. I was going to do it today. I think I'll do it tomorrow.
Right.
Uh,
So for some reason I can't upload them, but I can upload them and while I'm editing them. So if you want to talk about them.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'll have it just pulled up for me real quick. And so, what you could probably just share your screen and have them up as an option too. I'm sure that's a thing that you are able to do.
Let me see.
But anyhow, I mean, we don't have to spend too much time on this. You can do it in post if you'd like.
Oh yeah.
All right. So picture one. I guess you'll have the picture of the cookbook here, or the page of it. So I made a first of all visual aid here. If you're watching this, this is the Mythical Cookbook. It's going to be backwards on screen here, but the Mythical Cookbook, and this is something that I got. I like with Mythical Morning a whole lot, and I've been watching for a long time since starting college. Kind of, that somebody got me into it, and I was
Yeah.
watching it. I don't remember who really got me into it, but somebody was watching it, and I was like really into it at that point, and been watching him really ever since. And long story short, yeah, I got the Mythical Cookbook. Mythical Chef Josh, which is the dude in the middle here, is a really cool dude. I like him as a personality and everything, and he also fit. I want to look how he does fit wise, and but he is really cool. He's really funny, and I like how how he is, is, and doing his videos and everything like that. And he does all the cooking for the team, and then he ultimately made his own offshoot. And let's give him a big summary here. If you don't know anything about Mythical, this is kind of, I guess, some background. And so he has his own little cooking channel that's a part of them. Long story short, made a Mythical cookbook. And so I bought that because I'm like, this is really cool. He has a lot of cool creations they made. Now they're putting it all on paper, even though they have a lot of videos about their stuff. And so I decided to make this is my first recipe that I've made. It is the Flamin' Hot Cheetos chicken sandwich. There'll be some visual for those of you watching that you can see it. Excuse me. And super good. I mean, if you look at the picture here, you see some lettuce, you see some orangey sauce, and like a special sauce. You see like the fried chicken, which is like red because of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and jalapenos and some sauce in a bun. But yeah, it came out super good. I guess at this point you'll show the picture now of me and the sandwich that I've made on a plate. It looks pretty dang similar. Um, it came out great. I'm really surprised at how well it came out. It's pretty awesome. And I haven't actually fried something with like I've fried stuff and I've had good stuff and had good crunch and everything like that. But I think a new thing that I learned was like after you batter your item. I don't know as much about with the wet batter though, but like a dry batter, like so flour, you're wet and then you're dry. And if that's all you're going to do battering wise, and then letting that sit for at least a half hour, it really adheres it to, like in this case, the chicken. And so when you're biting it, you're not getting the breading falling off. And so that was one of the things I learned from doing this and making this awesome sandwich and a super easy special sauce, which y'all can make at home. It's called 411 sauce. So it's four parts and then one part. And so it was like mostly mayo, I guess, mayo, and then you've got a hot sauce, and then you've got sriracha, hot sauce of choice. I use Texas Pete. And we got about 20 seconds left. But yeah, that's it came out super dope. I was super excited about it, and I ate two of them yesterday. I'm gonna make a breakfast burrito with I'm gonna chop it up and almost like how Chick-fil-A has their own little breakfast burrito, spicy burrito. I'm gonna make one for lunch here and afterwards, and put eggs and everything in it, and cut it up and put it in there.
Nice, nice. That sounds good.
Well, I pretty much took the whole thing, but here we
Yep.
are.
But anyway, you guys, welcome back to Before the Long Gone podcast. Like always, it's me, Brandon, alongside.
Blaine.
And so, this happened. Okay, so the timeline of events, I'm not 100% sure about. But the main. Okay, let's see. Hold on. According to the Wikipedia about this and all that, on May 13th is when this really happened.
Okay.
Which so basically what happened is like one of the big heads that led the whole original meme stocks
Mhm.
back in, what was that, 2020?
Something like that. It's been a little while for sure.
Let's see, originally started back in 2020. Let's see, I'm kind of like looking this up real fast.
Yeah, I got you.
2021, yeah, 2021.
Okay.
Like one of the big guys that was a part of it, or like that kind of led everything, or like is the one that started it, resurfaced on the internet after 3 years apparently of being AFK.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So then on Monday, so when the meme stocks shot up a bunch.
Wow.
Basically, I think since Monday, from what it was at opening on Monday or like ended on Friday to
Uh-huh.
what it's at right now, GameStop has seen 158 increase.
In the past month, it's went up to almost 300% to right now.
Yeah.
From $10 to
Yeah.
all the way at the high on Tuesday was just 48.
Yeah. Not right now it's not doing as good as it's been doing the other days, but it's still like
Hopefully.
it's at right now at the moment it's at $41 at the time of us recording this. You
Yeah.
know, that can jump and all that.
This is the kind of stuff where like I'm just like I should have a brokerage account with shorting on it versus which I have an account. I just have no money in it.
But
With
see,
TD.
nobody predicted that he was the main reason people think this happened is because he came back.
Yeah. Well, what I'm talking about with it being short it, it's just this kind of opportunities here. It's like this kind of thing going up and then getting all the way like 48, being able to notice that, then purchase that, then just hold on. Because like it's really gonna end up coming back down because this is hype. This is like a pump and up. And unless they do something incredibly drastic as their own company, this little hype train stuff that's gonna happen, it's gonna come and it's gonna go just like it did before. Although it did take over a year, pretty much. I mean, going up and down, that one day was a crazy spike, but over the course of a couple of years to just cruise all the way back down like it is now. But yeah,
Yeah,
so that's what like shorting this, like I feel like shorting it at this point is like an awesome opportunity.
so you
It
know
makes it keep going
this.
up, but it'll come back down.
So you know
Like,
this AMC. From what I can tell, it's been saying that some other stuff like BlackBerry. What was
mm-hmm.
that at? It was BlackBerry, Virgin Galactic. Like have been experienced some increase since like
AMC did.
basically since Monday.
AMC it moved, but like not a whole lot. I
I,
mean, technically a whole lot if you consider $3 to 12. That's a pretty significant increase there in short
but
term.
like nothing as much as like it as what you call it.
What happened before that was drastic. Yeah.
Well, not even that. I was gonna say as as much as uh GMC, which is GME, which is GameStop.
Yeah. Well, that went up the most. Yeah. I mean, percentage wise, it's pretty comparable, but numbers wise, it's GameStop's more dollars, but the percentages is what matters the most, really.
Oh wait, it's a percentage more on AMC. I thought it was GME that had the GME that had the most.
That's what I'm saying. I think GME has the most there, but when you consider it going from like 10 to 40, that's like the same thing as going from 3 to 12. 10, 20, 30, 40, and then you have 3, 6, 9, 12. See that percent increase there? So, it's actually I mean, that's the exact same percent increase. So technically, they're both almost identical in their increase there from just an easy perspective and keeping things simplistic.
Hold on,
Pers-
can I hold on? What are you using to track like how many days? Because whenever I'm tracking GM. Also, we are not experts at this at all. This is just something that we dabble in, and we're like, oh hey, it's
No
not gonna
financial
the best.
experts here, just dabbling in
But
fun.
but what do
No
you but
advice.
what do you how like because I'm
Currently,
Googling I'm using Google
that's what I'm doing.
to look at the stocks, and I'm doing 5 days.
Well,
So like
I'm moving around. See, 5 days shows that I can kind of see it there. Moving into a month, it gives you a more smooth line and averages all the price movement and
because
actually.
because if I
And
go to a month, it says GME has increased by 280%. While if I look at a
yeah,
month for AMC Entertainment Holdings, it says it's increased by 94%.
uh huh. Let's see. Because I had GME and then I had AMC, and so let's just do a month of both of these real quick. Maybe it's because I flipped the. Where was I flipping at? Is it right before? Maybe I looked at 2 different time frames when I was making my comparison there. Yeah, because I can see, like, in April, this isn't a month bracket, that it went from $10 on GMC all the way up to basically 50. So, actually, that's one more 100% increase there, at the height is what I guess I'm looking at, which I guess that's 5 days ago. It actually gets to 60. So, because it averages based on the open and closing and stuff that we don't need to get into. But, like candlesticks and when they ping the line, and so versus hourly and stuff like that, you'll get a different charge. Like I said, I don't need to be getting into this stuff, but yeah, I'm just using the Google here, and so let's see. There's a month on that one. They don't look near as good. What did I do? I
So
went down and looked at. I was looking right. Basically, I'm looking just right before the price action happened,
yeah.
and so like seeing before the stuff happened, the news that create movement, and just seeing AMC is averaging right around $3 a share, roughly slightly above, and then seeing GameStop beforehand is about us also at a month bracket being at roughly just right at $10 a share, and then Boom News, and then going up to 60 there. But yeah, the percent change is on here. It says like GameStop is 300%, which AMC is only 97%.
Yeah. So it looks like they're taking advantage of this by AMC completed sell of 250 millions of stocks Monday after the meme stock rally.
Damn, so they just see the stock market's just a transfer of money between two people, really. So they were really smart, and they were like, "Damn, we're not going to get this opportunity again," and sold a bunch of their stocks.
But then
And
again,
so
okay,
basically, took the money from people who were thinking they got something special going on here. Oh, I just realized how I saw that. So I went through to see the actual height of a price. I went to 5 days when I was looking at a month and looked at the high point, which is $12. But when the month, it doesn't show 12, it shows 7. And so, I'm just talking about, like, low to peak pricing, and that's how I got to that point when I made earlier where they were pretty much identical. One was 100% more than the other, which was GameStop.
okay, so okay, nobody expected this to happen again for the second time in history.
Well,
Granted,
the thing is,
are we
this can
gonna?
happen anytime, especially if you just rally enough individuals, and that's at the end of the day, it's enough capital, and there's not a lot of volume going on, well, then it's much easier to manipulate, and so, I
But
mean,
then
this can
again,
happen
like
at any time.
when in history have we really seen something like this happen, or
Yeah.
something that's considered worthless? I guess is the best way I can say. Because nobody was because like what before GME happened, like those 4 years ago, it was like at a dollar.
Uh-huh.
It was like at a dollar, $2, and then
Yeah.
boom, just shot up in it. Even
Literally
after
penny
the
stock.
whole craze ended, it was at like 100% more than what it was whenever it began.
Oh,
Because
dramatically more than 100%. It's never gotten back to a dollar. It was at a dollar for a couple years, just going back and just looking back 5 years currently. And it's been down, it was just down, down, down. And then ever since it came back, it's been a slow decline this whole time, but it's never gotten back to that dollar point. It
like
got back to 10,
yeah, and
but
like so, I think that's around $10 is the lowest it's ever gone to. So it's like no matter what, it's always seen an increase of 100%. So
mhm.
like, and nobody ever really saw that coming,
Yeah,
mostly
no.
because they were just trying to screw with hedge funds.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean, that's part of it.
do you think we're gonna see a third wave in like probably 5, 7 years?
I mean, the more and more we get into technology like we are, the more and more this stuff is happening. Technically, this stuff happens all the time, but not with listed stocks, unlike the New York Stock Exchange and of similar exchanges that we have. They happen on us on the open market, and which I believe that's what that's called, where you have ones that aren't listed in these different exchanges like Nasdaq and things like that. Think that's right. Yeah. Um, but it's ones that you can get an account for, but you can't trade, and it's much more volatile. Like you can't trade on like Robinhood stuff like that. They don't have the ability to access that open market, or they don't allow you to. And so these other ones that you can buy are like companies that are like startups and stuff like that, and they go and they list, but in reality, they don't have to follow the same kind of standards of reporting and things of that nature that allows you to get listed, like on the New York Stock Exchange. And so this technically this it's called a pump and dump. And essentially you pump the price up on something. People are like, "Whoa, what's going on? Let's get in on this." And then you get a couple people with a lot of money to pump. They call those like I guess whales, at least in the crypto scene, to pump this stock, especially the open market ones. It's easy to have low volume, so you can very easily manipulate the price. And because there's a low volume, so there's not a lot of people buying and selling, so you can go in there and buy a majority the next whatever amount of shares and just and send that price up real quick. And by doing that, if you can create enough of that, and then these people have news outlets that go about, hey, this is the next big mover. Those type of people are promoting this. So you go in, they've already bought it, and then you go in like, oh, I want to be the next big mover. Look how much it's went up. It's went up like 5,000%. I get a little bit out of that. And you start buying in and people buying in, and then they're selling, boom, they're selling it. And when the big guys with all the money sell it, shoom, it dumps. There's the pump, people getting in, and the dump. And so the people who are poised to not make money out of the situation more than likely because this is kind of just news related and no significant thing to keep it up is the people who are buying now and assisting in the pump. Now, people who are quick in and out, there's opportunity here. Absolutely. There's people who's made fucking thousands and thousands of dollars on this if they were quick on it. But that's the thing about this. This isn't the kind of thing that you dabble with and hang around. There is possibility you can go nuts and go to whatever price, hundreds of dollars price. That's always on the table. But the odds are probably not. And the people who are quick in and out real quick are the people who poised to, make money on here, especially already. We've passed that nice opportunity at this point, more than
You talking
likely.
about when it was at like I think the high was $80 for
Yeah.
GME.
Like this is an example now when this is FOMO, fear of missing out. That you go through, you see this like, hey, but it can still go up. I see nothing but green. That's the problem. And they call this catching a falling knife. Whenever it starts going down, 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 you're trying to like catch the falling knife. And what happens when you try to catch a knife when it's falling? You cut your hands and you get blood. And so that's just the point of now you're falling and you're just going down and you're just losing all your money. And that's an example there as the red, trying to catch the falling knife. So, I mean, you could try to make money off of this. Me, like, not financial advice or anything like that, but like really interested in like shorting it. Missed a really good opportunity of shorting it when it was a higher price.
Well, you didn't
But
even know about this until like what 5 minutes ago.
oh, exactly. No, yeah, I don't actively trade like I used to. It all this time and varied returns. I'm not no financial professional, and on average, pretty much no matter who you are, is you're not going to beat the stock market on average from just putting money in a diversified funds and diversified investments on the stock market. You get an average of like 7% return year over year since inception of the stock market.
See,
And so I don't take my time to do that anymore because it's to me, it's not worth the effort to go through. I can make money through other activities and then make that money passively, which is the most interesting to me.
I don't know how I found out. So I either found out because I was on Reddit one day and I just like because I think I'm a sub to the Wall Street Bet subreddit. So I either found out
I
about.
got out of that. There was just so much crap going on there. I was in it because it was fun when the GameStop stuff was going on, and I didn't get into none of the GameStop stuff. And if I did, I got in and got out real quick a long time ago. But I got out of that because it's just a bunch of people just like doing this, do this, buy this. And I'm not really
Oh
interested
no
in
no
that.
yeah. I just stayed in there because it was fun and I just like to see like some people's the crazy stuff they do and how much they put in on
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, and some of the people and also the other side of this coin is too, some people, it's easy to Photoshop those pictures.
Oh no
You really
yeah.
you can go through and just add some numbers. I could do that so easy.
But
And I'm not I've done in the past. I'm probably moderately too advanced in Photoshop I used to be, but like that's not hard to do some of that too. Some people want you to think that they really did amazing, and I very easily can say that there's definitely people in there that do that kind of thing just so they can have people like, "Wow, that's awesome, that's crazy, you're awesome," and to get that because this is a society like we post
Yeah.
pictures on Instagram of our best moments in life because we want that attention and that hit of dopamine.
So it was either that I found out about it, or I found it because I was on Twitter, and it just randomly came across as one of the trending stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway,
probably.
yeah, it was
I
one of those
agree.
two. But I was like, wow. Then I looked it up. It's like, why is this happening again?
Yeah.
What was the
What's the
catalyst this
catalyst?
time? Then I saw like one of the big guys, like that was I guess the one that kind of caused it to happen the first time
Mhm.
resurfaced in about 3 years. I
Yeah,
think it's like the username was like growing kitten or
that
kitty
sounds
or something
about
like that.
right.
I think it
Yeah.
was like that.
Yeah, I remember that guy's face.
Yeah, it's like and I was like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, I didn't even realize there was like somebody that was like kind of like spearheaded that last time, and I just
Mhm.
thought it was weird.
Oh,
But
you didn't
also
know
like,
that last time?
no, I didn't. I didn't know it was like somebody that kind of. The main thing I knew is that they were just trying to screw over a hedge fund.
But you didn't know that last time there was, like, a dude that was, like, the guy, and he went through trial and everything. You remember any of
No,
that?
I don't actually didn't never knew
That was a
about that.
big deal, and see, but getting into the GameStop news is how I ended up knowing about that was him. He went to trial, and they tried to try him for all this stuff, and I think he won, but I quit following it. But essentially,
The hedge
it
funds were pissed that they were losing money. That's
yeah, so they
why.
they they took him to trial, man, and they tried to get him on all this stuff, which is I think is pretty ridiculous. The hedge funds get to do it, why don't you?
Yeah.
And so I don't think they got him. I mean, which I don't think they should have anyways.
And then
It's
like
just the people, banding together. It's their own choice to congregate.
then think about it. Like we're now in an era where it is so much easier to even the average Joe now can uh buy stocks and trade stocks.
Yeah.
Because like think
Yeah.
about it. Think about whenever we were in think about in the early two well, I mean we can't really know, but back in
Yeah.
the early 2000s and all that, it probably was more difficult yet to like what call somebody or like be a part of a group or something like that.
And I don't really know. I know at one point that was kind of the thing,
Because
and
like
then
I remember like at I think it wasn't kind of like a little bit like how it was in Wall Street Bets, where like you get called or you call them and you're like, hey, buy this much for me, blah 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 blah.
yeah, I'm sure because that's still an option. Like you can actually
Yeah,
call some of these people. Like I would see on TD, you could call to make a trade,
yeah, like
and which is interesting.
but
Never
now you
done
can
that.
just download Robinhood, Webull, some other trading stock
Yeah.
apps, connect it to your bank account, buy X amount of GME, or
Mhm.
buy X amount of GME, and then either hold on it, wait for it to go shoot up more and trade it, or
Mhm.
sell it whenever it gets low.
Yeah, don't buy it and then sell it when it gets low. That's how you lose money. That's for sure.
Well, I
I
mean,
would I would stay away from this personally. And or here's the really this is
wait,
the
wait, wait,
best piece
like
of
using like an
information.
app to buy stocks.
No, I would stay away from buying GME. I will say,
Well,
a
GME
stay
is like the
away, but
first thing I can think
I
of.
wanna loop back into it. But about GME, what is it? Oh, damn, I'm having a hard time having both of these thoughts at the same time. Robinhood revolutionized this type of being able to trade mobily and everything like that, and then that caused a spurt with all the other places that do it as well, which
Yeah,
is really awesome. In fact, going to my other point here is that the GME and then buying it, I'm trying to recoup that point. What was I going to say? Oh, so thinking about buying it, right? Somebody's thinking about buying it, not me, but I'm saying some. There's people are, and somebody's listening is probably like, hey, that sounds like I could maybe get some, get a little bit of money. The thing is, and here's a really good note, and I've learned this myself as well, and I've read this online somewhere, and I haven't forgotten it since. Back when I used to trade around a lot. If you have a certain amount of money in you're trading with, especially like actively or any form, really, a certain amount of money that you put into trade, and you can't not look at it, like you always have to look at it and make you think about it. If you feel nervous about the idea of that money disappearing, you put too much in. If it has that much of a tie to you, you need to reduce you're clearly not able to handle that amount of risk comfortably, which means you're doing too much. And so that's just a piece of advice, personal opinion, non-financial advice is that you should be mindful of that. And if it's something that you got to check all the time, you wake up in the, the middle of the night, if you can go through and check on it, and based on some market platforms you have, will show you overnight trading movement. So you can look at that. I used to do that too. So if I woke up in the middle of the night, I'm like, I gotta check it. You got too much money in there. You just need to be mindful on that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess you can think about it a little bit like the casino method. Is like only take or put in as much as you're comfortable losing.
Exactly. Absolutely. Exactly.
Nah, but honestly, that's it. I can think about. I honestly am just look. I kind of am keeping an eye on this just because it's. I don't think anybody expected meme stock wave part two, the return.
Oh no, absolutely. That's the type of things that's part of the stock market. No, you'd never know what's about to happen
Yeah,
unless you are. Yep, here comes the conspiracy theory. Unless you're like in the government, and there's people who track this stuff on purpose, because the people who get the vote on policies and stuff that will impact businesses are allowed to trade before they vote on the policies and things of that nature, and they know kind of where it's going to go. That's why we tracking certain senators and stuff like that that vote on certain policies. I don't think that's right, and there's a reason why they make so much money when they're in that government like that, and is because one of the ways is that they are able to trade. This is basically insider trading, but for some reason it's okay in the government, but it's not okay when you're in a company because you will get in trouble in the company, like Martha Stewart did and went to jail. But you're able to go through and buy and sell items before you vote on them within the government, which is very interesting. But that's something that goes on that I've seen talked about by different people. I've randomly thought about that, but that's something. I don't know. That's an opinion of mine. I don't think that's right. But that's why we have people that literally will go through and they track those individuals. I don't know how they're able to do this, but they're able to track them specifically in their buying and selling action, and you could follow their trades if you want.
yeah. Basically, I mean, I got nothing else to say. I just thought this would be like a quick little thing we can talk about, and yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so, yeah, that's
Eh,
all. That's what I got.
if you held GME or any other of the meme stocks, like before or after the whole craze, I hope you made money.
Well, if you held GME after the craze, basically when you got it, you probably aren't making money. And if you've been holding this whole time, mission for a dream to make some money, now's your time.
Yeah,
Even if you are still under, the amount that it's went up is a drastic change from where it was just at. If you are still holding, thinking that you're gonna make riches off of this is a personal opinion here, but I would even at a loss, how much extra you're now not losing because of this spike is very significant.
well, because like,
Um,
correct me
I
if
would
I'm
consider
wrong, but
letting loose with that asset.
correct me if I'm wrong, but whenever you do your taxes at the end of every year, you can always write off your losses on the stock
Yes.
market, correct?
Yes,
So
that's
even if
right.
you're not making it as much, even if like you want to sell, but you're like, no, I haven't broke even yet. Maybe sell so that way you can still use whatever you still like
Yeah.
you're not didn't lose as much and you can use the excess
The
as
best part about
tax
this
write off.
scenario, if you've been down this whole time, right? The best part about the scenario is like, let's say it just went up, you know, whatever, 400%, and you're still at a loss. The best part about it is, although that money, you're now extra money technically in your pocket, even though you're a net loss. You want to think about it, you're now not let's say not losing 4,000 instead of losing an extra 4,000. It went up 400%, let's say 1,000 per percent. So now you're still at a loss, but you went up 4 more thousand. That's not income. That's just less loss. So
Yeah,
technically, I mean, in reality, it's kind of like you're making more money because now you're walking away with 4 more grand, but you still can sell it and then count those losses on your taxes. Which there's individuals that do that type of thing. They'll go through, they'll have something, and they'll sell it so to recoup the losses at the end of the year or write them off on their taxes, and they'll purchase a different asset. I actually at one point considered doing that, but I didn't want to lose the opportunity to have capital gains tax.
I think I may do that at the end of this show. To be
Hey, wait, hold on a
honest,
minute. It depends. You can't just buy and sell the same asset like in the stock market. You need to look it up because that's important. Because if you just buy, I mean, if you just sell it then rebuy the same thing, it kind of, from what I was going through and reading, it kind of nulls it because you have a 90-day waiting period or something, which I was like, damn, that's a long time. A- And I wasn't willing to wait that long to rebuy the asset.
Oh no,
And
it's just like a stock I've been holding on for like the last couple of years, and I'm in a negative on it, and I'm like, I just kind of want to sell it.
if you could just sell it, yeah, if you can sell it, and then you can't buy the same type of asset essentially. From what I remember reading on it, I read, had my decision, and realized what I should do. And
I'll
from the
probably look
best I
more
can
into it.
remember, that's why this is an opinion, not financial advice, because I'm also trying to paraphrase, is that you can't buy the same type of asset. Now, hold
Hmm.
on, let me rephrase that. You can buy more stocks. You can't buy the same type of stock. So, like, if you buy, you're in a defense stock. For the best of my knowledge, you sell that and buy a different defense stock to take your losses, or if you buy the same exact one, sell and buy immediately within a 60 or 90-day bracket, then you're not able to take that loss because it basically is like you're cheating the system, obviously. And but if you can go through and buy a different type, so maybe if you go from there, then you buy tech or something, or you buy a real estate related stock. I think that allows you to utilize that by moving and not being a similar asset type in that area.
Hmm. All right.
That's the best I got. Yeah,
Yeah.
and do your own look up your own research in there. But that's my piece of opinion, not advice to you, Brandon. Is that I would look into that beforehand, or if you're just gonna sell it and just keep the extra, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Thought you were gonna buy and sell the same thing immediately.
Nah. It's just something
Okay.
I've been holding on for a couple of years. And I'm like, I don't think it's actually gonna go up as much as I thought. Might as well
Yeah.
sell it.
Yeah. There you
Anyway,
go.
Blaine, what can they find us at?
Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate you. And I don't know if you have listened to the pre-show. We call it the Before the Long Haul, just because it's before our main series. And but if you haven't listened to that, that's always the start of every episode. I don't normally do this at the end, but just thought about it. It's 5 minutes long. So, and we say at the beginning, just so you know, hey, you want to skip a little bit back and forth, relax. That's not part of the topic. Boom, skip the 5 minutes and get to the main. We always do that. And so, but if you want to listen to that, beginning of all our episodes, we do the 5 minutes little pre-show, catch up, and or talk about a random topic, or maybe rant about something. That's also good. Brandon likes to stir up the little rant mode, and I like to be a part of that too. I don't end up being in rant mode, I guess, at the beginning normally, but
Hmm.
I like to rant about some stuff. I'm good with that. And so, yeah, if you like that, tune in the first 5 minutes. If not, always get the 5 minutes in, and you'll get to the main topic. So, anywho, where you guys can find us at. Visually, it'll be up on the screen here if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, you'll be listening to it, obviously. So you guys can check us out on like Instagram at For the Long Haul Podcast. You want to follow us on there, and then For the Long Haul Podcast. Then, if you guys want to shoot us an email, any kind of information wise, sponsorship information, stuff like that, we're always open for discussion. And you can email us at ftlhpodcast@gmail.com, just like For the Long Haul, FTLH podcast at gmail.com. And what else we got here? We got, this podcast is wherever podcasts are podcasted. Obviously, we're on YouTube here. And so if you want to visually have us on TV, thing like that, we're like you're cleaning the house. And like I have Good Mythical Morning on the other day, I have the marathon. Just so happened I had it there and I left it on. You can do that. It supports us any way you can. That's a good way to support us. And also, obviously, we like you to listen as well. But up to you. We're just glad you're here. So YouTube at For the Long Haul Podcast. You can check us out on there. Give us a follow, so subscribe, I should say. And if you guys can, if you like what you're hearing, if you can help somebody, share that with somebody, or at least share the information. And then we would be grateful if you go through and like on those different platforms if they allow you to have like a liking system. That will help us, with rankings and being able to have more people see us and be exposed to our information.
Yep. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and we'll catch you guys next time.
All right, we'll see you guys later.